Hi, welcome back to the January Business Forum. I am Tammy McGaughy, the chair of the Greater Fort Walton Beach, and I am going to continue our conversation with Miss Lisa Jo Spencer with Lisa Jo Spencer, PA, and Marnie Tate with Northwestern Financial Mutual. Thank you again. We did talk about, in our first part of this segment, your leadership on the board and your experiences. So now I wanted to kind of talk about Lisa. I know a couple years ago you started to go out on your own as a probate attorney. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Sure. I was with another firm for 11 years, and it was great, and it was all a positive end, but it was time to spread my wings and go out on my own. So 2 years ago, I started a solo practice, and I focus on probate, guardianship, will and trust disputes, and estate planning. I'm not a tax lawyer, so I refer anything that's got tax consequences out, but I can do, there are some estate planning things, obviously. Most people aren't in that taxable world since the amount is so great these days. So there are things I can help people with. So it's been a great 2 years. It's been lots of fun. I love helping people. I love my elderly clients, but estate planning is for everybody. You never know when something might happen, and Marnie is a big proponent of all of that as well. She's unfortunately had some young clients have some issues. So there's lots of pieces in the puzzle that have to be put into place, and avoiding probate is a big deal.
And your office is located?
We're in Mary Esther, in the little Santa Rosa Executive Plaza, those little condo buildings that look like houses right across the street from Crystal there in Mary Esther. I just moved right next door from where I was. We were able to move into a bigger location. So we were in Suite 504, but now we're 503. So it's real exciting. Everybody stop by and see our new office. We're very proud of it and happy to not be on top of each other.
Good. And do you feel that the chamber being a chair had helped you make that confident leap into being out on your own?
Absolutely. It opened so many doors. Like we were talking about, everybody, even if they don't know exactly what I did, they knew that I was an attorney. They knew that I practiced law, and so you get those phone calls just, hey, I need this or that, and so if it's not something I can help with, I can refer them to somebody that can help them.
Absolutely.
And so it's been great, just having that connection with everybody.
Well, we love having you in the community.
Well, I love doing stuff.
So Marnie, I'm going to go back to you. In our first segment, you had talked about being, the first chair of the first female chair, but I also understand during that time you were pregnant.
I was. I was pregnant. I was the first and only, to my knowledge, pregnant chamber president. And ironically, I was pregnant with our daughter Jennifer, who now is a very active member in the Chamber of Commerce in her own right. So I'm very proud of that.
I'm not surprised, Marnie. Now, some of the activities I believe Jennifer is involved in is Women's Connect. And both you, Lisa Jo, you've attended that this past year. It was a new committee that started actually in 2015 and has been a great asset to the chamber, and it's specifically for women. So if you could give you spoke, right?
I was fortunate because Lisa Jo asked me to come speak this past summer about my book. And it was an incredible experience because I met some wonderful new friends. It had been a while since I'd been active in a chamber committee because I did so much for so long, and have a big practice that keeps me very busy. But I will be now a continuing member and come every month that I'm in town, and am thrilled to be back in that realm.
Good. And Lisa Jo, your experience, I'm sure, has been...
It was so much fun. Like Marnie said, there are some new faces to me. They may not be new to the chamber, but they were new faces to me, and it was really fun to just get outside of my little normal network of people that I'm used to seeing. Lots of younger professional women, and just it was really exciting, and they did some great networking things, and just I'm looking forward to where the committee is going to go. That they, I think we did two really cool things. We did a kind of a tea thing for the women out at the Bob Hope Village for Veterans Day, for their Veterans Day program, which they already had the speaker and all of that sort of thing set up. And we just had to go and provide some food and do the serving. But what a blessing that was for all of us to just get to hang out with the folks that are the residents out there at Bob Hope Village, and of course to be part of the service for Veterans Day. And then another thing we did, which of course was very near and dear to my heart, was we helped some women from Shelter House and some homeless women. We had a morning where they had an opportunity to get some professional clothes as well as some other clothes. We gave them a great breakfast, and then they had some very inspirational speakers, as well as resume training and some financial planning and some of that. And then the goal is then this year to just expand on that and to really do some budgeting kind of things, and perhaps even speak to them, even though they may not have anything financially, they still need some estate planning kind of things in place, powers of attorney and things like that, and to provide some of those opportunities for them, and just to continue to mentor these ladies,
right,
and help them as they come back into the workforce.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, I have seen where the Chamber has been a fabulous, they help people, and so having leaders like yourself involved, makes it much easier. So we appreciate that. Now, Marty, I'm going to go back to you for a second. Jennifer is involved in the Chamber and the Women's Connect, but you also have a son that was the instrumental in you starting a new program, the 911 system, correct? Correct.
It was through some of the dark days that we find our silver linings, and that truly was the case in this regard. When our son Justin was a 1.5-year-old, he started having seizures, and back then there was no 911 system. Trying to get an ambulance didn't work. We raced to the hospital, and that happened several times. And I was president-elect of the Chamber, and I just remember being in that cold room with Justin in the middle of the night in the hospital while they were keeping him and watching him, thinking, what is the silver lining? And that's the night, in the middle of the night, in the dark of the night, that I got the idea that this town, this community deserves and needs to have that. So it takes a village. It wasn't anything I did just by myself. We got back then the JCs involved. We developed a speakers committee. We went and spoke for years. I spoke before scout troops, corporations, businesses, nonprofits for 2 years, just trying to get the support. We encouraged everybody to inundate the county commissioners back then with letters and calls, and they did. We ended up hiring Hank Kristen away from the Atlanta Fire Department, and he was the one who put the feet on the ground and got the wheels in motion. There were houses that weren't numbered, had to be numbered. Streets that weren't named had to be named. It took us a lot of time to get all these little pieces, all the municipalities who liked having their own turf. We had to get everybody to work together. And probably one of the most important days of my life was after this was done and approved and put into place, I got to make the first 911 inaugural call.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know, just listening to you and then my own experience being on the board and seeing what the Chamber does, we truly are a community. Like you said, it takes a village to get things moving, and teamwork
Yes.
is very important. It again goes into believing and achieving together, which is my theme for 2016. So these are just excellent examples of how this community can pull together when we need to. So thank you for that, your efforts in that. It's a great accomplishment.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about some fun things. From my understanding from your book, that you have some bucket list type things that you have done, kind of stepped out of your comfort zone and made that leap. Share with me a couple of those things.
Well, I think one of the most fun things I did during my Chamber year was I was either the first or one of the first to get to fly in an F-15. And so that was something that was on my mental and written down bucket list even way back then. And my Chamber theme was Make It Happen, and that's something that I really did make happen. I'd not even seen the movie Top Gun until after I flew, and it was really incredible. I got to do a skydive, even though I'm terrified of heights. I did a skydive many years ago on my 48th birthday, and it was because at that point in time I was a runner. I was training for the Disney Marathon. I'd had a 10-year-old client die of leukemia, and I'd raised a lot of money to run this marathon for her, and got hurt. So somebody told me about Leap for a Cure, and I said, no way. I couldn't even go out on the balcony of a condo, for goodness sake.
Right.
And through working with my subconscious mind and positive thinking, I was able to take a skydive, leap out of a plane 14,000 feet up, and in total peace descend to the earth and cross that off my bucket list. Right now, the top thing on my bucket list, and it's even listed in my book, is I've always wanted to take ballroom dancing lessons since I was a young girl. And so now I have been chosen, thankfully, by the United Way folks in Rhonda Davenport. It actually happened on my national book launch at a chamber coffee this past year. And I am now paired up with the most incredible, amazing dancer at Fred Astaire. They're working with me. I'm dancing a couple days a week there. I'm dancing at home every day, practicing by myself and raising money to do this. We will be having an event called the Groovy Gala. It's with a 60s theme on Saturday, January 30th at the Sandestin Hilton, and I will turn in the performance of my life.
Well, it takes a strong person to be able to do that, and I commend you for that. Now, Lisa Jo, you had done that as well a couple years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember what year it was. It may have been in 2011 when I was chair. But I was able to do it. But when I did it, I had the same professional dancer, Chris.
Yes.
Was our instructor as well, and he is
Small
fabulous.
world.
And but he worked with Gary and I. Gary, at that time, you and your spouse were the ones that did it. So I cajoled Gary into taking dance lessons with me, and we needed some remedial training, or I needed remedial training. But it was fun, and it is. I mean, that's probably the scariest thing I've ever done, is to get up and dance in front of people, because if any of you know me, I have no dancing ability at all. So it was fun though.
Yes, absolutely. Now, are you trying to raise funds for this?
Yes, yes. For all the agencies that United Way sponsors, I think that number around 40, where all of us 5 dancers are raising money. There will be a silent auction that night, and it's just going to be an incredible event. They're having live music from the 60s. Who doesn't love to dance to the 60s? Folks can wear 60s costumes if they so desire. I think there's a prize for the best dressed. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'd never danced in my life. As I mentioned, I've wanted to do this since I was very young. So it's really an incredible honor to be chosen, and I really can't wait.
I can't wait to watch you. I plan on going to the event.
Good.
So I will support you.
Thank you.
And thank God you're up there.
Vote for me. You can go on the United Way site and either make a donation or buy tickets, which are $100, but of course everything is tax deductible.
Awesome. Now, Lisa Jo, do you have any last minute bucket list that you'd like to share?
You know, I'm a new grandma, and so
that's right.
my whole focus is on our sweet little Melanie, and so my world just drastically changed in September whenever she came in. So it's just to, get down to Melbourne and see that baby as often as I possibly can at this point and watch her grow up.
Good. So that's something that I will have to look forward to in several years. But anyway, I just wanted to thank both of you for coming on to the show today. This was my very first hosting of the show, and you made it very, very easy.
You're going to have a great year.
Thank you. And with that, thanks everyone for attending or watching today. Look forward to being your chair for 2016 and many more business forums to come. Have a good day.